So do you guys happen to have any pre or post show rituals? Maybe a group hug or a shot of Jaeger or something?
Warm up a little bit, take a shower, all the usuals.
Always important.
Not too much, not too many weird rituals.
So I love the video for the stone. Yes. It's really cool. And I'm curious, do you happen to know what your next video will be?
I don't know. I've heard rumor or people leaning towards Enemies as like another single, and so maybe we'll do a video for that. I'm not sure yet.
I caught the tidbit on your MySpace. It's on rocks. So I would love to see the video for that. So what is the weirdest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
About me? Well, the band, the weirdest, well, I had to go with, first the band, that people come up and go, oh my god, are you Maynard's son? And people thinking, like, pointing to the drummer or whoever, and like, they think Maynard, somehow I think at Wikipedia or something like that Maynard's son's in the band. I'm like, kids in, elementary school or something, he's not in the band. So that's pretty weird. I got asked live on radio once how it was working with Corey from Slipknot, which I thought that was interesting. I'm sure there's more.
Well, that isn't bad. That's the weirdest one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm not even trying to protect myself. I'm just trying to think what the hell else I heard. Yeah.
So,
I like when people come up to me and go, "Oh my God, you're a lot shorter than I thought." And I'm like 6'3". People like, I don't know what they were
pretty
thinking.
tall to me. I'm 5'2". I was like, hello.
I mean, I don't know. I was like, man, what are you talking about? Like, this was with ABC more, and they're like, well, I thought Maynard was like 6 feet tall or something like that.
So, the instruments that you're playing with tonight, did you happen to use those when you were recording your record?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Everything live is pretty much the same. The effects that both Andy and I use on our guitars are new. It's this new thing called a fractal, which is a really cool effects box that I used to have a pretty big rack in Perfect Circle, and I do even more elaborate stuff here, and I can do it all with like this one thing now, which is really cool. But for the most part, I do the effects on the record inside the computer, and I just kind of translate it to this external box. And the keyboards and everything else that was the hard part, setting that up, getting the keys to play live, getting Adam's rig there. But yeah, pretty much the guitars and whatever patches and stuff like that, the keyboard patches, but everything from the record is pretty much what we use live. But it still is hard. It's not like you can just take it out of the studio and go on tour. It took like 2 months to get it going. So.
And how long did the album take to put all together?
It was like 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah. So how about, do you remember what your first guitar was? And if so, do you still happen to have it?
I don't have it. It was a Fender Squire Telecaster. It's like the cheaper version of the Telecaster. It was like I think it was $310, if I remember correctly. And I went to, I had a teacher in my high school that took me into New York City to Manny's Music to buy it. And it was a big deal. Like, I had saved up, and it was like...
And doing the happy dance?
Yeah, I was so excited. I remember walking down the street, like, 48th Street, I think, is where all the shops are in New York City. And I was, like, holding that thing. I was like, God. First time I was, like, really scared to get my thing stolen. This was a long time ago. New York was still pretty rough, like late 80s, and I was like, man, please don't steal this right now. But yeah, and then I wound up selling it for some terrible guitar afterwards, and I should have kept it.
So do you happen to ever get stage fright? And what is your cure? So,
I got more stage fright like 2 months before we played. Like, I was thinking, how am I going to do this? Like the thought. It's just like anything else. You think about something too much, and it
becomes kind of daunting.
Yeah, it's like you just can't over-process, especially something like that. I think it's being prepared is the biggest thing to eliminate stage fright. I personally am like into things that are well thought out, just totally mapped out. I'm not great at improvising at music. I'm just not that kind of a player. Like, I don't consider myself a great guitar player, and I just so I'm not. I mean, I'm really not. I mean, Andy's a really great player. The guy who's playing the guitar in our band now. But yeah, I think just being prepared for the situation, and then things happen. Like the other day, we had a pretty big hiccup in the middle of our show in New Jersey at the PNC Art Center, which is a big 17,000 seat place, and I was pretty excited. Like, we all just kind of laughed it off. We didn't show the audience that there was a problem.
Right. We can't tell.
You know, yeah, and because a lot of times your instinct is to kind of be apologetic or something like that, or mine is, and it was nice that we all just kind of got through it without it. You know, we could laugh about it backstage and get through. So it was, again, I think we were just ready for it.
Yeah. So do you happen to have any plans for any upcoming collaborations? Or if not, anybody that you would like to collaborate with?
You know, I probably will do something with Maynard in the future, like maybe, you know, a song or two or three or something like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna do some remixes for this Puss record that I just put out, but I didn't have time. I just haven't had a lot of time to do it. I worked with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio on the record, and we've talked about, you know, doing something in the future in some kind of way. I really like Matt Skiba, he's a good friend of mine. And I'm sure Danny, I want to do stuff with him in the future. The band we just had open for us called Inner Party System, I want to have them at least do a remix for the band. They're really good, so I don't know if that counts as a collaboration. But
Yeah, well, I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
And last thing I have for you today, is there anything that you would like to say directly to your fans?
Well, just obviously thanks so much for the support, and you know, because we literally wouldn't be doing this without, you know, people listening. And you know, I'm a musician and got into this because I was a fan of music, you know, and I am, you know, the sum of my influences or the things that I was a fan of as a kid. And it's nice, especially people supporting like live music. You know, it's nice to see people out doing that. But it's, you know, I know that the state of like the record buying future is grim. And, you know, I get why it is, but you know, I tried to do something with this record that was like worth buying, you know, making a record that is worth buying, having artwork that's, you know, worth something, and there was thought put into it. And this guy Kevin Llewellyn did all the artwork in the record. You know, I tried to make 11 strong songs from front to back that have a flow and a sequence and are purposeful and, you know, thoughtful. And you know, because I grew up listening to records, not just singles or playlists with this and that. You know, it's not a concept record by any means, but it has like a flow that's important to me, that, you know, is from start to stop. And you know, I'm just doing the best I can do to put that forward, because it's kind of where I came from. It's what I want to represent moving forward.
Yeah, well, great. I can't wait to see the show tonight. I'm so excited about it. And I just want to say thank you very much for sitting down with the Hidden Agenda, and hope you have a good night.
All right, thanks very much.